Hello everyone, today's September 2nd, 2010. How many of you actually think that there is gold in Fort Knox? Or there's the 146 million ounces, 8 tons of gold that supposedly is in Fort Knox and in the New York Fed. They used to be underneath the World Trade Center. Well, wouldn't you like to know? I mean, I'd like to know. Well, Congressman Ron Paul going to coming out with legislation next year that would give an audit of the Fort Knox. I mean, 50 years hasn't been audited. But don't understand why. I mean, if the gold was there, you'd think that they'd be happy to show it to us. But it's been kept under wraps for all this time. Hasn't even been an independent auditor in there ever since 1933. But before I get going on the main topic, I want to see if anyone had any ideas for a title for my new video and be working on the next couple days. It's about a coming crash in the stock market in October. I have quite a few points that are leading towards a crash coming, and I'm going to lay them all out. And I have about 8 different points saying why we're going to have one. So, you know, if you don't listen to me and don't do anything, you can crash and burn with the market. If you do listen to me, nothing's going to happen. You're just going to keep your money, maybe lose a little upside if I'm totally wrong. But it's something to really consider, you know, with the different points that I'm going to lay out. I mean, I don't want to say that it's imminent or that the crash is coming or, you know, we're going to have a crash no matter what. I mean, I don't want it to be stated like that. I just want it to be like a warning or an alert and something to really think about. I'm trying to put together something with, you know, a lot of different images and stuff like that. So if you have any ideas, if you could leave a comment down below. So anyway, on to the main topic. So anyhow, today I wanted to talk about Ron Paul, who's going to sponsor a bill next year to audit the gold in Fort Knox. You know, this hasn't been audited hasn't had a real audit in 50 years, even if you want to call that a real audit. But they had a walkthrough in the 70s where they checked a couple bars out and this and that. And, you know, it wasn't even an audit. And the audit that we had 50 years ago, you know, they only checked maybe like 5% of the gold. I mean, we need to get an independent auditor in there and weigh and assay every single bar and make sure that it's pure gold. It's ridiculous. They took all of our gold away from us in 1933. We had the largest gold hoard there in Fort Knox, 67% of the world's gold we had. And then, you know, it started leaving. We had 800 million ounces, I believe, and it started leaving. It went all the way down to a couple 100 million ounces. And the dollar was backed by gold. But the citizens were illegal to own gold between 33 and 71, or 74 actually. But in 71, Nixon said no more gold for anybody. So he cut off the gold to the other countries and, you know, made the dollar backed by nothing. But that gold that was supposedly there then, 260 or whatever it is, million ounces, how do we know it's even there? I mean, we don't know it's there. They could have leased it out. I mean, who owns it? Is some of it owned by the IMF? Is some owned by other countries? I mean, we need to know what's going on. This is ridiculous that we don't know what's going on. You know, Ron Paul was on a committee back in the 80s, you know, one of these congressional committees, and they had a vote, 17 congressmen, you know, whether they needed an audit of Fort Knox. And he said, and it says that 15 out of 17 voted no. Okay, whatever. Yeah, we don't need to audit it. It's all there. I mean, this is totally ridiculous. We need to audit the Fed. They're going to have some type of, you know, Mickey Mouse audit. I mean, the full audit got voted down. Everyone jumped ship. They sponsored the bill and then they jumped ship at the last minute. All the Democrats, like 149 of them. But anyway, you know, we need to get this audited. It's totally ridiculous. I was watching Ron Paul being interviewed on TV, and he says, you know, that we got to shut down Fannie and Freddie. And the woman says, well, you know, aren't you worried that these types of radical moves would cause uncertainty in the markets and in the economy? And he says, uncertainty? Don't you think we have enough uncertainty now? I mean, she says, aren't you worried about these types of radical moves causing a depression? I mean, the woman was totally airheaded, ridiculous. She's asking these stupid questions. He says, if you want to worry about a depression, I mean, look at how we got into this recession mess. We printed too much, we borrowed too much, we spent too much, and we had too much reform. So if you're worried about a depression, just do those 4 things again. Well, what are we doing? We're borrowing too much, we're spending too much, we're printing too much, and we're trying to have more reform. So we're just driving ourselves right back into a worse situation. I mean, you can't just print and borrow and spend your way out of this mess when that's when you got into this mess. I mean, it's totally ludicrous what's going on, how we're being told that, oh, well, we got to stimulate, we got to get things going again, rev them up. I mean, that's a total joke. I mean, we don't want to stimulate, we don't want to throw money at bad money, we don't want to throw money at this problem. Anyway, I'm just kind of rambling on now at this